It's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. We're gonna talk about what's going on in town. You never know who's gonna come around.
Good morning, Montgomery County and Conroe and Willis and the Woodlands. I just lost myself. Did I lose myself?
That was me turning down the headphones.
Oh,
You're really loud.
You might have to turn mine up because
sorry.
I've got serious.
I'm sorry, I'm really close to it.
You're off. Don't worry, Mark.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You're good. Just talk.
Okay, but this thing keeps falling. I'm sorry. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
You are on.
Mark and Cindy show, and it's Monday, and we don't have jury duty. Cindy?
Is that why I had a parking place up there?
It may be. I don't know. Well, a lot of jurors, they won't park there because they'll get ticketed.
No, there's something wrong. They didn't have as many cases today or something because it's light traffic out there.
They may have settled.
I got to tell you, as Mark reminded you, you are listening to the Mark and Cindy show.
Oh, yeah.
And that we do have a Facebook page that you can go to, and we don't even have to befriend you. We take everybody. We're all inclusive.
We do.
Whoever wants to come onto our page and interact with us. But I forgot to write anything.
You sure did, Cindy.
Did you?
Well, yeah, but I was getting ready to leave, and I looked down. I said, that dadgum Cindy did not say anything, and that's really her job.
It is. That's my only thing, because he always has to write the synopsis, so that's the least I could do. And I mean, that's the least I could do. And this morning was just a weird morning. I got up really early. Samantha had taken the kids to school and took care of them. I didn't even know when they left. They were gone. And I had this really restful morning and took my time and took too much time. And now I came screeching up again to here. And I know you thought I was going to be late, but I didn't.
Really? And
sorry.
She's only got one shoe on, which is a sign of something. I don't know what. But Cindy, one thing I Facebooked is about the front page of the Courier has that the Texas Lone Star hiking trail is open.
Yeah, I saw that.
129 miles of hiking trail, and I never knew it was closed. But it is open. And I think when I look at this map...
Isn't that awesome and very intimidating?
Oh, it is. That is...
Where does it start?
Well, it looks like it's close to Cleveland, but it's a little... Looks like it's where Double Lake is, but I could be wrong there. But anyway, it meanders around way east of here, and then it goes... If it went as a crow flies, it'd be about 30 miles. But boy, walking through these the national forest and all... is really something that it ends up there northwest of Montgomery a ways.
Now we live right.
It goes by your house.
I was going to say because we live like right across the street from the forest. Mm-hmm. And so does this go? It says New Waverly. Does it say?
Yeah, you're way down south. Way down south in the land. Anyway,
wait, it's got to go. It's got to go by. Yeah, there's Lake Conroe. Yeah.
Can y'all see
it starts
this?
right there. See where Lake Conroe is?
Yeah, you skirt the north part of Lake Conroe. It's really neat.
I'm right there, and that's where it goes. Wow, that's so cool.
Anyway, that is something I really do not intend doing, but it looks fun. And
is that one for the bucket list?
If we win, it would have to be. No, it's not. You know what ruined, and I know you don't care, but what ruined hiking for me was when the four brothers, 20 years ago, we said we need to go hiking in Colorado from Silverton to Durango, something like that. Yeah, we follow the train. We get on the train, and then we get off, and we hike in the mountains, and we can do it because we're athletes. And that was our whole deal. Oh, yeah, we got this. So we get the backpacks, and they're big because we're going to be out there 4 days, and you have to eat whatever you bring in. And plus, you can't leave anything. Whatever happens out there, you bring it home or back with you. I'm not taking it home. But anyway, you don't leave anything on the trail. And Cindy, this was a hike. We were so excited. We get on the train. We're happy as we can be. We get off the train right there. It just stops and lets you out. And we start walking on flat ground, and I am in good shape. I'm just 2 miles we go, and all of a sudden, I cannot breathe. None of us can, except Al. Didn't acclimate at all.
I really want to meet your wife. Really want to.
Well, she, Dick, you haven't really?
I don't think I met Kay.
Wow. Okay.
I know I've spoken to her on the telephone.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe we need to have Kay and Sam come in here.
That would be a show.
The wax figure,
round table.
The wax figure and the fake wife.
Elusive.
But it was miserable, and I did one of the stupidest things. I didn't bring a loaf of bread because I thought bread will smush up, so I brought English muffins. Oh, I hate English muffins. They used to be okay, but on a hike when that's all you got.
So dry.
All I wanted, I saw a guy, we passed this guy eating an apple, and I was so starved, I just thought, an apple. That's all I'd ever need. And the problem is we had all the not freeze-dried, but the dried food. But
Did y'all bring like NASA astronaut type food?
Oh, gosh, yes. But the thing is, to warm it up, you have to boil it, and at that altitude, you're 10,000 feet, and you're trying to boil something.
Wait a minute, y'all got 10? Oh,
yeah.
Did you start at 10,000?
We went over the. No, we climbed up
10,000 feet.
and I thought, climbing down is going to be so much better. It's not. It's not any better. There's rocks everywhere you're falling. But the thing is, you couldn't get it hot enough because water boils at about 50 degrees. No, it's a little higher than that. But anyway, it boils, but it's not hot, is what I'm saying. I don't understand it. But the air pressure, you can stick your tongue on it. But I don't recommend that.
Okay.
But anyway, so you never get your oatmeal hot. But other than that, we really hated it. But Al was out there, and I was so tired I couldn't even see the sights. I'm telling you all that to tell you this.
You should have taken those MRE.
Really?
MREs.
But they're heavy. This Lone Star hiking trail will not be like that, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be flat and neat, and all you'll worry about are mosquitoes and banjo playing people. But not in very many areas, I don't think, just out there.
But
it looks
there's
like a lot of fun.
trail. It's a trail.
It's a trail, yeah. Problem is, a lot of times the trail, they have cut over forest, and you can't hardly see it because there's just logs laying everywhere. But maybe they've straightened that out since they just now opened it.
Well, I've got to go see about that.
You really do, young lady.
I'll go across the street and go see.
Get your buns out there.
See
And
what happens.
any caller that wants to go hiking with Cindy, please.
Bring your
any
car.
Caller. Yeah, you can
Bring
call
your car,
a listener.
and it'll be fine.
And do your Facebook thing.
That's right. Do you know spring is here? And what
It is,
that
March
green
20th.
grime junk that's all over your cars are back.
Terrible.
It's back. That's our
It's
first
more
sign
yellow.
of spring.
It is. Yellow stuff's hitting my house, but she lives where the green
Maybe
stuff
mine
is.
stayed on there longer, so
Where
it's
do you
turned
live?
green. No, it's got a
Willis.
greenish.
They always have
it's
different things in Willis.
Yeah.
There's a yellow tinge to it, but there's a green tinge to it too.
And
but
it's going
but
up
it's
your
coming,
nose.
and that's what it is, and it's horrible. Ugh.
Yeah. I mowed my weeds. I mowed them. I had to because the ground suddenly one day got dry enough to do it. And I got this thing that a lot of sandblasters wear, painters, the mask that has
Yeah.
the two little things. Never worked because it's too hot. But Cindy, there was so much pollen. I put this thing on, and I
worked?
looked like I had a hazmat suit on, or hazmat.
Yeah,
At mowing, and kids running and screaming, "Ah, the man's out!" And but if I hadn't, I'd have been really, really bad.
Well, Samuel and his friend go out, and we have this big pine tree, and I went by with the golf cart the other day, and I saw all these
Cindy's
pine
got
cones.
a golf cart. Cindy's got
Yes,
a golf
I do.
cart.
And I saw these pine cones, and they're so cool looking. I'd never seen them like in the very beginning of when they become a pine cone. And so, anyway, later on that day, I see Samuel and his friend out there, and he's yelling at me, "Grandma, look!" And so, what? And he goes, "Watch this!" And he took the limbs and started shaking it, and it looked like somebody was spraying a hose.
Yeah.
It was. I realized what it was. I said, "That's Polly. Get away from there." It was horrible.
He's in bed this morning.
Yeah, that's right. He'll never breathe again.
Golly.
But I did not realize how much stuff they
It's
put out.
Unbelievable.
That's why we all are so.
You know how many times the word unbelievable is used and doesn't need to be?
What was that?
I use it so much. That
That
was
was
Cindy
me.
getting.
I'm sitting here looking at the signals, and it's like.
Cindy, a weekend and a half, and you had one equally
No,
as.
tell me how was the show? I was dying, wanting to know how you do.
Friday went pretty well. That's the first nighters.
That's when you
they
have the
come.
most energy. Don't you think you're really up
Yeah,
for it
probably
that night?
so. And I was scared too. Not as scared as I was parent night for some family night for
yeah.
whatever. My parents were there. No.
Because the family's so.
Yeah, they yeah. Well, there weren't that many people there. They buy season tickets, but they said, "Man, I'm not up to going," and that's what I would have said. So Friday night we did okay. Saturday night, I wasn't nervous as much, and something it's like a fog or whatever.
Oh,
there was
no.
a point when I was there, and I was trying to think of the word of grid of morality. Mm-hmm. Nothing. And I couldn't even make up. What do you make up, Cindy, for grid of morality?
First, I had to figure out what it was.
If I could have thought of morality, I could have got grid of. If I could have thought of grid, I could have got grid of morality. But I could not think. So all I did, the guy that I'm defending knows everything. He knows my life. And I turned to him and I said, just like I was in character and all, I said, Cates, what is it? And he said, he just mouthed, grid. And I couldn't tell. I said, what? Oh, grid of morality. And, oh, my gosh. You know,
That's
everybody.
Because he's a teacher, and so he can give you all those
But
those
the
words.
people who are
funny.
acting and all in the play know what a screw up. But the people in the audience, Jill was there with my niece Cheryl. They said, well, I didn't notice that. I said, holy cow, you're...
They don't have the script in front of their hand.
Yes.
I would tell actors, like, look,
Oh, man.
the audience doesn't have the script, and this hasn't been a movie, so it's this original play. Nobody knows what you have said or not said, so that does help a lot.
Anyway, so there were better nights.
Wait. I gotta have Richard. Would you do that sign one more time?
Is that? That's not a phone call. It's
He's
a
not
record.
stirring the cup or
Stirring the
anything.
cup.
This is
1 minute, wrap it up.
Oh, 1 minute, wrap it up.
1 minute, wrap
Okay.
it up. But now we're gonna have
now
to
we're
wrap
30
it up.
seconds.
Okay, fascinating.
Sorry.
We got other.
Sorry.
So many Easter Bunny. I got an Easter Bunny story, Cindy, or a news thing. And
Well, we'll have to save it, I guess, till after the
after the thing.
After the thing, the
Okay.
announcements. But we are gonna talk about just one more time, and this is less, I promise. The Malaysian thing. I have my own theory, and this morning they think they found it, but
Was there a train crash in Malaysia? I don't even know about this.
Oh, you don't know about it? I know
Yeah.
Richard doesn't know about it, and you hadn't heard a thing over the weekend about it. So one last time, I think that's all we have, and then we're going to talk about us giving away the internet. So anyway,
Mark and Cindy show.
We'll be
Coming
right
up,
back.
Back in a minute.
Homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
Did you know there are over 800 abused children in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Susan, a volunteer with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. April is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. Casa Child Advocates trains and supports volunteers to be the voice of children who have been removed from their home because of abuse or neglect. We need volunteers just like you to speak up for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com or call 936-441-5437.
Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
The Conroe Art League is a nonprofit entity promoting the visual arts in Montgomery County. They've evolved over the last 49 years into one of the premier artist groups in the greater Houston area. The Conroe Art League is now permanently housed in the 100-year-old recently remodeled Madeley building in historic downtown Conroe. Exhibits of local artists, sculptors, and painters are changed periodically in the downstairs gallery with admission free to the public. Art classes and demonstrations in a variety of media are provided in the upstairs studios. The mission of the Conroe Art League is to encourage artistic development and cultivate an appreciation of the visual arts through education, exhibitions, and community outreach. For more information, call area code 936-756-9572 or visit their website at www.conroeartleague.com.
You can go out to eat, that's for sure, but it's nothing a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put 'em in a salad, put 'em in a stew, make your very own tomato.
Okay, homegrown tomatoes. I love the song. Richard
I know,
picked
that's
that
a cool
out.
song.
That
Yeah.
is wonderful.
That's straight from the Ozarks. In Kay's after me to do another tomato garden. It's ridiculous. Feed the deer is what it does in my house.
If y'all do, you have someone that would love you.
That's true.
I would come by there and
instead
take
of the
up.
way it is. Ooh, Cindy, late breaking news. It's right here. There. You're going to have to take it. I think it's Malaysian related.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
You've got it.
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
you
She
had
said she had
something.
Malaysian
Yeah,
airplane news,
well,
and I wanted to hear
He didn't
it.
want to talk about tomatoes.
No,
That's right.
exactly.
Brought up nightmares of deer in his backyard.
I love tomatoes. Okay, this morning they reported the Malaysian Prime Minister came out
Oozwak cockaboo.
and said
Malaysian
with great
Prime
regrets that
It was a hoax. Oh,
that
man.
that the plane has gone down into the Indian Ocean, and they have found this because of all the coordinates that they have now come together in this new app they have on one of the planes. They're searching there, has said that it had to have gone down at this place because there was no landing strip or anything. Now, instead of saying we have now found the debris, they feel like this latest sighting of debris, because it has color in it, and there's a round piece there, and the colors that they're seeing look like the colors from the plane, so that they feel pretty sure about this. And so he felt confident enough to come out and tell everybody that it has crashed into the Indian Ocean. Now, they haven't confirmed. They did not say anything about confirming the debris that they found, but because of these coordinates and looking at all the data and all that, they feel like it has gone down in the Indian Ocean.
I bet it's a truckload of Camrys that washed through the typhoon from, not the typhoon, the tsunami from Japan. It could be nothing else.
Well, what this has revealed is all the trash that's in that
Really?
ocean. Because
Could be that
they
70-foot
keep
piece
saying-
of-
Nobody has ever looked anything there, and all the people have dumped stuff there thinking nobody's going to come out here and look at anything. Look for anything.
They're using China and Australia. If Australia was not involved in this locating thing, I would say I don't trust them, the Chinese or whatever. But Australia says,
I
they
agree.
both pinpointing the same thing. But oh my gosh, again, the news was just, somebody's got to talk 7 minutes about. We still don't know.
They called in all the families and gave them this news before they announced this, but unless they have something that they cannot let us know, they have not said anything different, because they're just talking about the speculation of it. But here's my theory. I finally came up with my own theory. I think Vladimir Putin has taken the plane and landed it somewhere and is holding it hostage until he's able to go in and get Ukraine. What do you
I
think?
think you're right. Yes,
And
there is
because
no.
it's been a total distraction from all the stuff he's been doing. He's so cute. Yeah, he's doing all that stuff, and he needed that type of diversion, and I think he got it. So
Cindy,
anyway,
that
that's
is
my
just,
that's my.
And your
think-
opinion is as valuable as
the
everything
black
I've
hole.
heard. Yes.
You think Vlad's cute?
No, I meant that in a
Shirtless,
very he's
yeah.
so
Well, he
cute.
hangs out with his shirt off all the time. How's that not
He
hot?
does.
He is something. His photo ops and the way he wants to.
He's got the greatest life.
Yeah.
He really does.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, all the people around him probably were
He
starving.
does have
but-
a
but
nice
he-
wife. She's attractive. And, I'm sorry,
people
I'm
don't
sorry.
mess with him, and he gets to hang out with tigers.
And he can do anything he wants to. Now he feels that he is so empowered that he can do whatever he wants to do. But so now that maybe we can start shifting some of that attention back over there, now that we know that we think that it crashed in the Indian Ocean. And I had
Or
to
the
bring that up.
terrorists. I think Al Qaeda has a secret submarine with a landing deck for a
There you go.
777, whatever that
Yeah,
thing is.
7
It's huge-mongous.
777.
Or they caught it with a big net. See, now we're just being
Yeah,
silly.
I'm sorry, but that
Oh,
I had
my
to
gosh.
I had to say that, and then okay, it's over, done, and all that. Next is though, what kind of got also covered up, not covered up intentionally, but
No.
it's kind of under the radar, is the giving up of the internet, control of the internet, and the control they're talking about is being able to give the websites, being able to sell the websites, the
advertising
the domains,
the domains, yeah, the
domain
domains.
registry, basically.
Right, that we've had that control, and so now the United States is saying they're going to give it up and let ICANN have it. ICANN have it, and that then the international world will come in and be able to take more control over that, and it'll spread. We don't know what will happen from that, but even former President Clinton came out and said this was a dumb idea to give this up because they don't know what type of information will be going out, and plus they feel like they'll start taxing it and doing all of that. And he says, we've done a great job of keeping it from being taxed, and now we're going to give it away.
Well, yeah, when it's that large of a scale, it's going to be taxed.
Can you explain what you just said, what they're doing?
What I just said. You didn't understand a thing I just said?
The history of the internet is probably one of the coolest little deals because, and it reflects what a government does when it comes to control and also comes to maintaining what society uses day to day. So to give you, like, you get to compare it to other things like radio. Radio is one of the most controlled medias out there, because it was one of the first ones that had a wide audience instantly. So back in the 30s, 40s, they developed this hardcore structure. I mean, it is nuts how much money you have to, like, what you have to do to be a radio station is absolutely insane. And the money you have to pay, the taxes you have to pay, the fees you have to pay, and the rules. So, like, to give you one of the craziest rules that most people don't know about radio stations, you can't have alcohol on a radio station. You're not allowed to have alcohol on the premise.
Wow.
And no, it's I mean, that's kind of an odd rule, but that's
so many of those the radio hosts sound like that's.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad we're on the internet, because if you took away my alcohol,
whatever you want
well,
to
no, I'm giving you an idea. So basically, with the internet, there's domain registries, and where the internet really started, it started as an internal network between schools and then also the army.
Yeah.
So
it
really,
came out of the military.
Yeah, because they can exchange information on a private network, and then basically a guy took that and goes, well, why don't we change it to being an open source deal? And that's where the www came from.
Right.
And then the .com, .us, all that's just that doesn't really matter, because that's just it's a parking space. That's what it is. And that's the way you have to think about the .coms. It's just a different parking lot, and each .com has its own parking space. And what's happening with what the government was trying to do is they're trying to get the listing, because you can't really control, because I could just make it up. And if I knew, technically, you could just set up a server at your house and create your own domain. But you have to register, and you can register it with companies like 1&1 and like Icon. And there's so many companies that you can register through. And basically, the government wanted to be able to control the listings, so they know who owns what. Because if you just if I could go to Google, type in who is, and then you type in www.whitehouse.gov, it will tell you who owns the domain, who owns it. You can contact them, and you have all their information.
Right,
that's
so it's
registered.
still an information exchange thing that very powerful would want to have.
Oh,
to have control of. So the question is, from former President Clinton, is why would you want to give that up? Why would you do that? Why do you think that would be a good idea?
Because you can't control it. You really can't.
But as much control as we had at this point, I mean, Russia and China want it. They want us to do this because they feel like they're going to be able to come in and suck it up, because they definitely want to control.
Well, it's just if you own the company, but then there's also, what's nice about it is that's not the end solution to the internet. If somebody controls the .coms and someone's like, well, we're not going to use .coms anymore. Yeah. We're going to use a .fu. Yeah, well,
that's what made me feel like is that toothpaste is already out of the,
Yeah. So there's always another option with the internet, which is cool, because you can't just settle on it. And the government, they're still trying to figure it out how to maintain it.
Yes.
And which there is. I mean, there's some guidelines that need to be set, especially with IP internet providers. Mm-hmm. So like Comcast and things like that. Right. They're doing some throttling. They call it throttling, which basically controls how much data you're using. And what's happening, it's becoming an issue for companies that are just purely online, like Lone Star. Say we use a lot of your data, well, the Comcast will identify our domain and our IP going, you're using way too much. We're going to take you down.
Well,
so
and then
people won't be able to listen to Mark and Cindy's show.
But you look at Google and Yahoo and all the ones that have gotten so big. And they go in and meet with our government. I mean, it does bring a lot of power with it, so you have to be careful with it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that rolls out. But it was like the first thing I ever agreed with Clinton on. So
wow.
Anyway,
I haven't joined in this conversation because obviously I don't know Jack about. I know Jack, but not about this thing.
That doesn't stop me.
But one thing I do hope is that there are governmental brilliant hacker people watching the dadgum hackers that are trying to shut down the banking system, the Air Force,
everything. That's what Edward Snowden or whatever. That's what he basically did. And he kind of exposed what people are doing. And what's amazing about that hacker and like the structure that banks have to go through, I'm amazed they took the leap to have online banking.
I am too. I mean, it scares me. Here's
exactly
credit card number right here.
Well, because and that's also, it goes back to our conversation about education for older people. Because I know, like me, when I hit 45, I would love to go back to school and learn what's the new thing, because a lot of people don't know how email works, and they respond to those Nigerian emails like that.
Oh gosh!
Oh my word! So, you know how far that goes back to the late '80s.
Oh yeah,
late '80s. That has been
direct mail
from the beginning. As soon as you were able to do that, because a friend of mine had told me, she said, "Listen, I want to fund this project y'all want to do. Don't take it to PBS. We're going to fund it, and because our money is coming in." And so I went, that's great. So I held off till PBS. We already have a sponsor, and it's going to do this, and she didn't want anybody else's money in it. She wants to do it, and so it was just great, wonderful. We kept waiting and waiting and waiting until I heard her say this Nigerian group, and I'd already heard all these stories and stuff, and I went, oh, there it goes. And I have lost now this. Yeah. So those things have been going on forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't know about them, and especially the way the internet really became big. I mean, excuse my my words, but porn really developed okay, let me take a step back. The coolest thing about the internet is you're able to see reaction. You're able to see people doing things. A lot of people
that was the point.
Like TV and radio and things like that. You couldn't see the individual person have access to the information. You kind of just guessed because there wasn't a way to track it. And that's why these .coms, these domains is really important, because you can track everything. What's going on? And it's scary. It's awesome. No, I don't think it's scary. I think it's great.
But I mean, it's scary when it's taken for evil. I mean, if things are good and bad.
These pop-ups, you gotta take the bad with the good. So.
These pop-ups that happen, and people for our age that would not, and maybe not be as savvy about what's going on when they pop up, you click on it because you want to get rid of it, or you click on it to say, like, how do I get rid of you and let me find out more about you? And the minute you click on it, you're done. It's over.
And you in.
And if anybody ever says to you, you will win $1,000 shopping cart at Walmart if you click on this right now, don't do it. Because I did it.
Well, that's what's so amazing. People ask me, it's like, what kind of virus software should I get? And I'm like, I haven't used virus software since like 1998.
Good grief.
And they're like, man, how'd you? I was like, well, because I taught myself not to go beyond the borders of where I usually go on the internet. Like, I just don't do it because it's not worth it. And but yeah, so I mean, I could talk about this for hours. Hours.
Well, it's an interesting thing to watch and to be aware of that's kind of happening. But I think we've got so much more to think and talk about, don't you, Mark?
Oh, we've got some other stuff.
Because you're on the
we
Mark
don't
and
have time.
Cindy show, and you never know what
things.
we're going to talk about, do you?
We sure
Sometimes
don't.
we do. Oh, no, I didn't mean us. I mean,
back in a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
I'm Lauren Maddox for Lone Star College System. Discover all that Lone Star College Montgomery offers at Maverick Mania Open House, coming to Lone Star College Montgomery on Tuesday, April 1st from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Take a campus tour, visit with representatives from every academic program, and get your admissions and financial aid questions answered. There will even be information on the academic and workforce programs offered at Lone Star College Conroe Center. Those who pre-register online and then attend the event will be eligible for a prize drawing for free tuition for the fall semester. So plan now to attend Maverick Mania at Lone Star College Montgomery on Tuesday, April 1st. All the details are online at lonestar.edu/openhouse-Montgomery. I'm Lauren Maddox for Lone Star College System.
To change this life I lead, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed, 'cause I know what this country needs. Homegrown tomato.
Go ahead, sing it.
That is,
Sing
yes.
it,
I know
Mark.
those
Yeah.
lyrics from, I don't know anything about those lyrics. One thing
That is my song. I love that.
It is
You're
it's
listening
a
to the
jewel.
Mark and Cindy Show. It is Monday, and we don't act like it's ever like it's Monday.
Oh, we
around
never
here,
do.
we?
No, I couldn't. Yes, except once again when we have jury duty. Now, I think that's every fourth Wednesday. No,
Yes, right.
Mondays. Anyway, I was reading the newspaper today. I'll do that occasionally, and there is an event I think everyone needs to get involved in, Cindy. And
What?
that it starts tomorrow, and it occurs. This event occurs at 10 a.m. and stops at 8 p.m. And it goes from March the 26th to April 15th, and it is Easter Bunny at the Woodlands Mall. It is.
Oh,
you can go
yay.
and sit in the bunny's lap, and that would just scare the willies out of me. Does the bunny say anything? That's the question.
Of course it does. It has to say something.
Well-
it's not like Santa Claus, though. You're right. A lot of
Right.
those times, those characters that get in the full costume are not allowed to speak because they don't
That
want
is
them to
true,
say anything.
and that freaks me. Mickey Mouse
very
at
creepy.
the thing. You ask Mickey a question, and he doesn't say anything. He just waves at you. That's
that's true, but they're not allowed to do that. So
Well,
I don't mean to be
I saw this
mean.
deal at it might have even been our church. They're having some kind of deal with the Easter Bunny, and they're looking for an Easter Bunny, and they say doesn't talk, like
Right.
don't talk, like a lightning bolt will hit you if the Easter Bunny says
Well,
something.
that's
So I
always
don't
for
know.
photo op. They're just
Okay,
they
yeah.
put the Easter Bunny out there and do that. But Eggapalooza is coming up, and a lot of people that live around the area of 1488
Right,
and
242,
242 and all that are well aware of Eggapalooza, and they're not going to drop the eggs from the sky. That
No,
won't
not
be
this
happening.
time.
This is going to be
Or the turkeys. You
or
remember
the
that.
turkeys, right? And they will be running and chasing and trying to get as many of those eggs as possible. That looks like a product placement that we have here on the
does.
table, and it is the Mark brought this in. It's salted caramel puffed corn. It's puffed. Is that
baked
corn?
It's popcorn. Oh,
Are you sure it's popcorn?
No, I'm not sure
It's
of
puffed.
anything,
Anyway,
Cindy. I
but
don't
it tastes
know.
good, and it's supposed
not
to be-
popcorn. You're right.
It's supposed to be good for you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got flax in it too, Cindy. But
got
I just
what in
brought
it?
flax, and that does everything. You can actually make
That's
your
not
dress
short
out of
for
flax.
anything, right?
And
okay.
no. Anyway, it's gluten.
Gluten free?
I don't know. It's easy to brag about what's inside every bag, but what's excluded? Gluten, yeah, trans fats, hulls, kernels, preventative. I like the hulls and kernels. Anyway, I got that at
your
Sam's. It's delicious.
Flowers.
But anyway, you got that Easter Bunny at the Woodlands Mall. Go there. Also,
Don't talk with your mouth full, for
I
goodness
saw
sakes.
this article that was fascinating on Yahoo. Mm-hmm. I wanted to say Yoo-hoo, but that's a drink.
That's a drink.
And it's about dyeing Easter eggs with plants from your garden, Cindy. You not only can dye them, but you can take like a fern and put the fern leaf over it somehow or other, and you will dye it to look like it's got ferns and flowers on it. It was so beautiful.
Way too much trouble.
Way too much trouble.
Way
no
too much
kidding.
trouble. Those plastic things are already different colors, and you can put stuff in the plastic things, put something in it.
And Kay and I bought some at Sam's, the already filled, and they look like baseball players, and then for the girls, they look like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. And Cindy, at church, they had a big bag of empty eggs, small ones, and they were putting candy in, and they were putting Tootsie Rolls. All Tootsie Rolls. Give me a break.
No. But I did find out you don't put chocolate candy in those Easter eggs and go hide them.
Oh, my
Especially
word.
in Texas, because it's all melted by the time they get to them. So you have to find stuff that will not melt in the sun.
And I don't know if Tootsie Rolls do. Nothing outlives a Frito in the world, but a Tootsie Roll might be the second. I don't know.
You are so right.
I always wondered why flossing companies didn't make an egg-shaped flossing bin so you can put them in the eggs as a kind of a...
And really depress the children.
They'd strangle it, they'd eat it, they'd stick it up their nose, and then
you know what? People were throwing the candy at the parade, and there were some dental company came by, and they were throwing the candy, but it was floss. It was dental floss. And the kids opened up the bag and went, What is this for? No, this isn't right. But anyway, we were back to the Easter Bunny, all the events that are going to start happening. And we do want to have, I'm going to have Steve Yates on. He's one of the preachers. He is the preacher. I say one of the preachers at Conroe Church of Christ. And he's going to tell us all the things that we don't know about Easter.
Wow.
So, see, there's some things that you don't know and you
Yeah.
want to know. We'll have him on. Easter is April.
I have no idea. None.
Is it 20th?
We don't know.
Or
Maybe this
You're asking the wrong person.
Actually, you get to sit with the Easter Bunny till April the 15th.
So it's got to be,
I don't know
I thought
what
it was
day.
the 21st or 20th or something like that. But our sharp producer, you're not going to look at it, are you? He's not going to look. You know?
When Easter is?
Yeah.
No.
What day? Oh, well, I thought you were looking it up. This is like, you've got the big computer. I've got to start bringing in a computer. I got to find a computer that
It's
can
Sunday,
fit
April 20th.
You know, Cindy,
20th, Sunday, April 20th. I was so
any
close.
computer would be good for you. But I've noticed you have started answering emails, and that means a lot. Or you see them a couple of days later, you will make a comment. And
Yeah, because my
that
voicemail
what
is
it's all
full.
about. Yeah.
You're one of those people? Great.
Yes.
Before we go into this next commercial, can I read this to you before
Please.
our, what do you call them, encouraging words? This isn't our encouraging words, but it's very encouraging, and it's from Mark Dennison, who's a preacher at the First Baptist Church in Conroe. And he writes some stuff each day. He comes up with, I mean, I know he's reading books and all to get stuff from. That's what I do also. But he also puts a little deal in it. I'm reading this 2-paragraph thing to you just for the quote at the bottom, and I think it's worth it. Joshua Chamberlain was a student of theology and a professor of rhetoric, not a soldier, but when duty called, he answered. He climbed the ranks to become colonel of the 20th Maine Volunteer Infantry Regiment of the Union Army. On July 2, 1863, Chamberlain and his 300 men were all that stood between the Confederate and certain defeat at the Battle of Gettysburg. Sergeant Tozier informed him that reinforcements were not coming. The rational thing to do was to surrender. Chamberlain made a defining decision that saved the Union. He pointed his sword and yelled, "Charge!" His men, 300 of them, fixed bayonets and started running at the Confederate army, which had them severely outnumbered. By executing a right wheel maneuver, they caught the Confederates off guard. They captured 4,000 soldiers in 5 minutes. Historians believe that this won Gettysburg, and Gettysburg decided the war. What possessed Chamberlain to do what he did? Reflecting back years later, he said, and here's the quote I love, "I had deep within me the inability to do nothing." That is the mark of any successful person, the inability to do nothing. That's what Mark Dennison said, and that is, I don't know if you saw the movie Gettysburg. It was powerful, and they were actually out of bullets. And I know this is the South, and a lot of people wish that the South had won Gettysburg, and I don't happen to be one of them. But anyway, when those guys, they were out of bullets.
What? Drop a line like that and go on?
You would like the
said that?
Confederacy to have won?
Well, of course.
Oh my
of course.
gosh. In other words, you would like Texas to be a country pretty much by itself. That frightens me. It's a very patriotic statement, by the way. Yes, but no, I am so glad we didn't.
Mark.
Oh, my word.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was really hoping Canada was somehow
Canada would have come in and...
that's what I was hoping for, if we could go back that
way. The Confederates tried to get Canada involved, and they refused to.
Well, no, I was thinking more if Canada goes, hey, they're fighting, let's might as well just invade them, everyone, and just take over the United States. That's what I would have done.
Sheesh. Oh, my God.
I'm surprised Mexico didn't try to take Texas over again.
Can you imagine the highway structure?
Well, they may have a different way of doing it now. Just
interstate
highway.
Okay. No such thing. Anyway,
until we have all the voting power. Yes.
Well, I would have moved north.
Okay, now wait. Now I'm sorry. Finish your thought. I'm
no,
sorry.
that's all I'm saying. I mean, when you've got a confederacy, each state is independent of itself. Highway structure, I would like to send it all the way to North Carolina. You can't. You've got to get, first of all, Kentucky's not going to want it. They're not going to pay for it. So you've got to circumvent Kentucky. Defending the country, well, I'll fight if they invade Kentucky. I'm not going to fight if they...
Well, we have a Texas longest footpath now for the hikers, so that's a start.
That's
for
true.
defense
That is the start.
home.
We could...
we can mobilize troops that way, Mark.
That's right.
that.
And that's why we moved close to that
Texas.
line where they would do that. I love Texas.
So the North
Texas
can't come at us.
so-
Right, but the Constitution
so
of Texas
great.
to rule us independently would be really scary.
Mark?
Are you,
Mark,
are you afraid of tomorrow, Mark?
I don't know
you
what
should
that
not be
means, but I would
afraid
be
of
afraid
tomorrow.
if the Confederates had won the war.
Oh, brother. Okay, all right. I hope we get some
wish-
Facebook
I wish, yeah.
comments from that.
I do too. I mean, history, if you look at it, it's scary.
It's awesome.
It is. It's just... and
Especially
we,
like 1600s.
we just don't learn from it. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
We don't learn from it.
We don't.
But we should learn from this, though, because the Bible said in Proverbs 27:3, was it? No. Proverbs. You told me already. Proverbs, it's in Proverbs.
23:7.
23:7. I knew those numbers were there. It's just getting them in the
Yeah.
right place. Anyway, Proverbs 23:7 talks about, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And so whatever you think of yourself, that's what you are. And then, of course, we have that great saying, you are what you eat. You are what you drive. You are what you wear. You are what your income is. But I think that that what we eat, and that's the scare. I don't like that saying at all. I do like, as you think about yourself, that's who you are. And that's who you will become. Because you think you're the one that's in control of that. Mark, don't go to sleep on this.
No,
this is
I'm
important.
thinking...
Is that what you
if
do?
I am what I eat, I'm a...
Then you're a puffed corn.
I'm a puffed corn, a cosmos creation.
But
Ladies and
you're
gentlemen,
sweet
more
on the
tomatoes,
outside.
and we're back in
But
a
you're
minute
sweet
with
on the
the
outside.
final encouraging word.
And we got to talk about the Crawfish Festival
Crawfish
that Mark.
Festival.
That's what I was going
Oh,
to lead
my
into.
word.
Is the
I forgot
Crawfish
about that.
Festival that Richard went, and he was there all over it. All over it. You're listening to the Mark and Cindy Show, and we will be back right after this.
That money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. All right.
Hi, this is Judy Deo, Executive Director of Tamagua Healthcare Ministries. Tamagua is a Christian ministry that, by the grace of God and in response to the love of Jesus, provides quality health care, offers hope, and restores dignity to uninsured, low-income families and individuals in Northwest Harris County and Montgomery and Waller counties. As a primary care safety net clinic, we provide for the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs of our patients, and we do it only with the financial support of the community in which we serve. Tamagua receives no government funding. To find out how you can help or to make a donation, visit our website at www.tamagua.org. Tamagua is spelled Tomagwa. Thank you, and God bless you.
Do you ever wonder what's going on in the business community? Are you looking for ways to get plugged in? Cassandra Roshan here, Director of Membership Development with the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to invite you to tune in to Chamber Chat. Tune in the first Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. so you will be in the know for all Chamber happenings for the month. Each month, the Chamber offers 2 free lunch and learn sessions, a networking breakfast, business after hours, membership luncheon, as well as many other special events throughout the year. I will give you a rundown of all programs and events for the month, as well as interview our speakers and hosts of these events. So grab a cup of coffee and tune in to Chamber Chat the first Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. Chat with you then.
This is Holly Price, Events Manager with Children's Cancer Recovery Foundation. The foundation assists children under age 18 and their families who are facing the hardships of a cancer diagnosis. Our mission focuses on improving the mental, social, and emotional well-being of these families while helping to minimize the devastation that cancer can cause. Located in the Woodlands, Texas, we support families who often face financial difficulties through our Helping Hands Fund. The Helping Hands Fund provides emergency bridge payments directly to the utility companies and landlords, ensuring that each child has a warm, safe place to call home while recovering from cancer. For more information, you can contact us directly at 713-389-5544. You can also check out our upcoming events or make a donation by visiting our website at www.childrenscancerrecovery.org.
All right, now look out, Chet.
And welcome back to the Mark and Cindy Show. We thank you so much for listening to us today. We're in our final quarter. We're in the last in the stretch. And,
when y'all were gone, Cindy, I'm interrupting Cindy. When y'all were gone, we were talking about reviewing movies and going to the Grand or maybe up at the Market Street, whatever, and watch the movies before y'all get to see them, and then talk about them.
And tell you what we think. We do want to know what Richard was at the Crawfish Festival. And
it's a movie.
They
made a movie out
of
it.
Yeah, I'm just such a star.
You're such a star. I missed that whole thing because this weekend was just, I couldn't make it.
Dick, are you a head sucker?
No.
Oh, man, me neither.
Wow.
It's a whole culture. It's great. The crawfish culture is fantastic with the people involved. They taught me how they cook it. So I know how to cook crawfish now. So if you want me to make some crawfish, I'd be more than happy to do it.
But did you eat it like they eat it though? Did you eat that? The way they eat them was so disgusting.
Well, that's what's so funny because when you pull out, when you twist and pull, there's stuff that's not just the tail, and I'm like, do you eat it? Is it poop?
Bile, yes.
It's got to be.
And basically, their mentality was they're hungry, so they don't care. So they literally twist, pull, go. Twist, pull. I mean, it's like a eating contest with these dudes.
Yeah, it's fast.
And I went for it, and I came out okay, and it tasted really good.
You did it. You did.
I did it just because I wanted to be like them. You gotta, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So that's what I did. And it was good. It was worth it. I didn't suck the head though.
You did not.
I don't really know what the point of that is besides getting a little bit more flavor.
My mom do that, and she said because the flavor, when they're all the stuff that it's cooking with is really right there in the head. And that's what tastes the best.
You have to add that on to like the little other things like the corn and the sausage they add into it. That adds more flavor.
Okay, now I've got a twitch that won't go away.
But you need more sleep.
What was that movie with Dolly Parton filmed in Natchitoches about Puce, and they were having a wedding, and it's all of the ladies were in it, and it's called
Steel Magnolias.
Thank you so much. The best crawfish ever looked to me was there in Steel Magnolias when they had that giant boiling barrel of stuff, and they pull it out with this meshed net thing. Oh, and it had corn on the cob and potatoes
and onions.
Oh gosh,
they had
that part's good.
They had mushrooms. They had all sorts of good stuff. It's neat to watch that process.
But you are what you eat. So the bottom feeders.
Oh my
what
word!
For Saturday, I was a bottom feeder.
Say that, bottom feeder.
It doesn't sound very good.
No, it does.
They're like one of the worst sea creatures there are, and it's ironic that everyone.
That's what.
I think what it is. What's funny, I tell people that I've learned over the past. I think that was like the 5th time I've eaten crawfish, and I think it's just the spice.
Yeah.
It's really just the spice,
I think you're right.
And I think it's that Cajun kind of feel because people just eat potatoes and corn. Like a lot of people there love the corn.
Yeah,
and
like corn.
And I'm like, why don't they just apply this to other foods?
Right.
Like
right.
I don't really
something that's not disgusting to eat.
Yeah,
you're right.
I don't.
You used to, and I don't know why I start a lot of sentences with because you may not. That I used to be able to get crawfish peeled, crawfish tails peeled for $5 at Kroger, and we would make crawfish etouffee and stuff, gumbo mostly, delicious. One time it was on sale for $5. I hadn't seen it forever because now it's on $10, and I bought it, and it was funky, and I said, what the heck happened? And then I grabbed the bag. It was from China. Chinese crawfish. Does it get any lower than that?
No, right here in Texas when we have the Gulf and you.
Yeah. Well, we got this cesspool over here, and we got all our crawfish.
Oh, man.
It was terrible. But let's try to get past that to an encouraging word before we leave. And I'm sorry I let in with that thing. I have mentioned this passage so many times, and I'd like to leave on an encouraging word, and so I'm going to use it again. Because I was reading it this morning, and it's the Matthew 11:28 and 29 where Christ, and it comes from him, and that's what I really liked the most. He said, come unto me, all you who are weary, heavy laden, I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Learn of me, for I'm meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest for your soul. And what I love it so much is he's not saying, wait till you get your life straight, wait till everything's fine, and then come to me. He said, no, you got problems right now. You're a drug addict. You're whatever. You're I don't care what the thing is, and I can imagine some horrible things. He says, come to me. And the reason that made me think of that is because of something that Charles Stanley wrote, a great preacher and writer. He said this, and this is the quote I want to leave you with. All of us need rest, and Jesus promised to give it to us when we find our rest in him. He will not scold us for being weak, or scorn us for being foolish. He promises to gently and humbly refresh our weary souls. I know of several people, and I really do, I'm not making that up, who say, no, I can't come to Christ now. I got to get this straight. And you can't, I don't believe, without his help. And a church that, I used to go to a church that would say, well, the same thing. You wait till you get it straight, and then you can come here. That is not the way. If you see a church like that, you need to back up.
Run.
But just come to him now, because it's hard to struggle with anything without help from the Lord.
No, because look who he hung out with.
Really?
He hung out with all the ones that their society and the apostles even would complain, like, these guys are not good. You're hanging out with the wrong crowd. And he says, these are the ones that need me. These are the ones that need the the encouraging words and all that. It's like the doctors are looking out for the sick people, not for those that are all well.
And he wasn't beating them over the heads. He wasn't doing that at all.
Never, ever, ever, ever. So we do lose sight of who it was we're supposed to be following and acting like. So that's our encouraging word. We thank you for that, Mark.
Who's coming tomorrow, Cindy?
Mark, Eva Summers is coming tomorrow, and she's from the Arctic Circle.
Oh, my word.
She can't say Willis to save her neck.
Can't.
She says Willis. And so she's going to try to speak very slow for everyone so that we can understand her. She's great.
Can I make fun of her? No, I won't.
Oh, yeah. No, she loves it. She just, she laughs. She's a great, and we will have interesting things from that and what's going on in Conroe. But listen for the business.
Oh, my gosh, yes, that business thing that's coming.
The business
weekly
hours.
business hour.
I know it's weekly. It's not
Weekly
Houston.
business hour with
Weekly business hour with Rick Schischler, and they're going to have a great show. So stay with us.
Yes. I got it right.
Well, it's Mark and Cindy on Lone Star.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.